United States President Donald Trump recently spoke why his administration is taking strict action against illegal immigration. He pointed out to the tragic murder of Laken Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student, as a key reason behind these policies. Riley was brutally murdered on February 22, 2024 in an incident that shocked the entire nation and reignited the debate over border security and undocumented immigration. The man accused of killing her, Jose Antonio Ibarra, had illegally entered the United States from Venezuela, raising serious concern about how many undocumented migrants are crossing into the country without proper background check or any monitoring. Laken Riley was a very bright and ambitious nursing student at the University of Georgia with dreams of making a difference in the healthcare field. She was out for a jog near her campus when she was suddenly attacked and killed in an act of senseless violence. The horrifying crime not only devastated her entire family and friends, but also fueled public outcry over border security failure. Many Americans, including conservative politicians, saw this tragedy as a direct consequence of weak immigration policy, which they believe allow criminals to enter the US without any consequences. The case quickly became a political flashpoint, with many demanding stricter laws to prevent similar tragedies in near future. Then, in response to the public outcry, the US Congress passed a new immigration bill called the Laken Riley Act, aimed at tightening immigration law and increasing penalties for undocumented immigrants who commit crimes. The bill was approved with a very strong vote of 251 to 170, meaning that while most Republicans supported it, some Democrats also voted in favor. The purpose of this law is to ensure that undocumented immigrants who are accused of committing serious crimes are detained immediately and not allowed to remain in the country. It targets illegal migrants who commit offenses such as theft, burglary, assaulting a law enforcement officer, and any crime resulting in serious bodily harm or death. Under this particular law, individuals accused of these crimes must be held in federal detention and cannot be released back into society while awaiting trial. Then on January 29, 2025, just days after assuming office for the second term, President Trump officially signed the Laken Riley Act into law. This was his first piece of legislation as 47th President of the United States, emphasizing how important immigration enforcement is to his administration. While addressing the nation in a prime time speech before Congress, Trump emotionally recalled his conversation with Laken Riley's grieving parents. He stated, "Laken was an exceptional student, admired and loved by everybody who knew her. Her life was tragically stolen by an illegal alien who should never have been in our country in the first place. Last year, I made a promise to her parents that we would ensure that their daughter did not die in vain. That is why the very first bill I signed into law as 47th President mandates the detention of all criminal aliens." Trump used this moment to criticize the previous administration also, that was led by Joe Biden, blaming his immigration policy for making the US borders weak and allowing undocumented immigrants to enter freely. According to Trump, the Biden administration's lax border policy were directly responsible for cases like Riley's murder, as they did not enforce strict enough measures to prevent criminals from slipping into the country. He further argued that the US cannot afford to be soft on illegal immigration and vowed to take even more drastic steps to secure the southern border and deport undocumented immigrants with criminal records. The issue of illegal immigration has long been a very divisive topic in the United States. According to the US Border Patrol data, more than 2.4 million undocumented migrants crossed into the country in 2023 alone, marking a highest record. Many critics of illegal immigration argue that too many undocumented individuals are entering the US without proper vetting, making it extremely difficult to track their criminal histories. Studies have shown that over 60% of illegal immigrants who commit crimes in the US had prior arrests. raising concern about public safety. Additionally, national polls show that about 70% of Americans consider border security to be a major issue, with many believing that current laws are not strict enough to deter illegal crossing. Now, with the Laken Riley's Act in effect, Trump's administration is expected to increase deportation and tighten border security even further. Immigration officials will now have expanded authority to arrest and detain undocumented immigrants accused of crime. Trump's broader immigration policy also includes other aggressive measures, such as expanding the border wall, ending catch and release policy, and requiring stricter background check for all the migrants who are entering the US. However, while Trump's immigration policy have very strong support among his base, they are also highly controversial. Many critics, including immigration advocates and civil rights groups, argue that majority of undocumented immigrants do not commit violent crimes and that such policies create a climate of fear and discrimination. Some also believe that the US should reform its immigration system to provide legal pathway for migrants instead of just increasing arrest and deportations. Despite these concerns, Trump remains really firm on his stance that stricter immigration laws are very important to protect American citizens from crime like the one that took place with Laken Riley. The Laken Riley case has become a very powerful symbol now in the immigration debate. While some Americans believe that this law is a much needed step towards securing the nation's border, others worry about the long-term consequences for immigrant communities. As Trump continues to push for even stronger immigration law, this issue will likely remain at the center of political debates in the months and years to come.